Today I'll be showing you how to make this tropical body lotion. I have assembled some beautiful ingredients for you to make this lotion. It's a super duper lightweight, lovely, luxurious body lotion. For this recipe, we'll be using 36 grams of demineralized water, 40 grams of orange blossom hydrosol, 3 grams of papaya glyceride, 3 grams of olivem, 3 grams of panthenol vitamin B5, 2 grams of coconut CO2, 1 gram of preservative, and I'm choosing Preservative Eco for this one. And last but not least, we are using Monoi de Tahiti. And Monoi de Tahiti is going to be 12 grams in this recipe. So why have I chosen Monoi de Tahiti? Well, Monoi de Tahiti is the most tropical ingredient that you can find. I love the smell of Monoi de Tahiti. It just brings me back to those summer days when I was young, because my mum actually had a suntan lotion with this scent in it, and it's just such a lovely smell. It's holiday in a jar for me. So since Monoi de Tahiti is based on coconut oil, it's a little bit greasy on the skin. So I thought, let's make a body lotion that is less greasy on the skin, but still has the scent of Monoi de Tahiti. For this recipe, we need both water and oil, and we are going to combine these into an emulsion. And an emulsion is made with olivem. This is our vegetable emulsifier that I'll be using today, and I'll be showing you step by step how to do this yourself. You wouldn't believe how easy it is. Okay, so we're going to heat our ingredients in this pan. I have 2 beakers here, one for the watery ingredients and one for the oily ingredients. We're going to put the watery ingredients in the bigger one, because this is going to be the beaker where we are going to end up mixing everything together. So now we're going to add the orange blossom hydrosol and the demineralized water in one beaker. Okay, so in the other beaker, we're going to add the olivem 1000. This is the miracle ingredient that's going to bind the water and the oil phase together. It's the vegetable emulsifier made from olives, so that's why it's called olivem. To this oil phase, we're also going to add the Monoi de Tahiti. We're going to add 12 grams, and this Monoi de Tahiti is basically an infused oil. So the Tiara de Tahiti flowers are infused in coconut oil, and that's why it's called Monoi de Tahiti. So now we are going to heat our oil phase and our water phase in our water bath. What you want to do is heat both phases to 70 degrees. Once they reach 70 degrees, we will add them together and start emulsifying. So Monoi de Tahiti is my favorite oil, but orange blossom hydrosol is actually my favorite hydrosol because the scent is also really nice. It's also called neroli. And neroli actually comes from an Italian princess in the 17th century, and her name was Nerola, and she loved the smell of orange blossom. She put it in her hair, in her scarves, and even on her love letters. And that's why it's called neroli as well. How cute is that, right? So I've chosen the Papaya Glyceride because it has a really tropical scent to it as well. And the difference between a Papaya Glyceride and a normal, regular glycerin is that this is an infusion in glycerin. So there is papaya extract in the glycerin. So it's basically the same as the Monoi, which is an infused oil, and this is an infused glycerin. Fun fact, you can actually infuse a lot of plant materials in glycerin or oil, for example. When it's infused in oil, it's called a macerated oil, and you can infuse scent and also therapeutic properties of plants in it. It sometimes takes a bit of time, but you end up with a really beautiful product that you have made yourself. Okay, so when you hear that bubbling sound, you might have noticed, check the temperature. Yes. It's at 70 degrees and our water phase is also. So now have your whisk ready, and here's a tip. Always put your oil phase in your water phase, never the other way around, because then you get clumps and it can go really bad. Whisk away. And now you're going to keep stirring. As soon as it cools down, you'll end up with a beautiful lotion. Just going to set that aside for a moment. Meanwhile, we are going to add our heat-sensitive ingredients. I'm going to add the Panthenol, Papaya Glyceride, and the Preservative Eco in this little beaker. Why am I doing this now? Because the Preservative Eco is a preservative that has quite a strong smell. Normally I would add this at the very end of the recipe, but since the smell is so strong, I'm gonna add it to the glyceride and the panthenol first, and then add it together into the body lotion. But we can only add these three when the emulsion is below 40 degrees. So how do you know ingredients are heat sensitive? Well, it's not very easy to know this, except for, as a general rule of thumb, preservatives, essential oils, most botanical extracts are usually heat sensitive. And then there are also carrier oils that are heat sensitive. Now we are going to add these three ingredients to our little beaker. So the panthenol is very thick. The best way to go about this is have a little knife or spoon or spatula. I have this mini cute spatula. Now we're just gonna take this out of the glass jar and turn it around and then add it to our beaker. So this was 1 gram. Can you imagine? We need 3 of those blobs. Just a little bit more. Sounds like I'm a sugar artist. Ooh. So what this does is it softens and strengthens the skin. You also find it a lot in shampoos and conditioners. Now we're going to add the papaya glyceride. It's quite watery, and this is going to water down the panthenol as well. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to incorporate this into the body lotion. Also 3 grams. Ooh! Lovely. And to this we're going to add 1 gram of preservative, and now just give it a quick stir. At first it's going to be a little bit hard, but it's going to get easier while you stir it because the panthenol is water soluble, so eventually it's going to dissolve into the papaya glyceride. Our emulsion is still quite hot, so you might be wondering, how is this going to turn into a lotion? Well, we are going to cool it down. I have 1 glass bowl with 2 cooling elements in there. Put this beaker in between. I always have the cooling elements touch it a little bit so that it speeds up the cooling process. And now we're gonna stir away until it becomes thicker and thicker. In between, we're gonna measure the temperature, because when it's below 40 degrees, we can add our heat-sensitive ingredients. Okay, so before we're going to add the papaya glyceride mix, we're going to measure the pH, because it needs to be in the correct zone before we add the preservative. We're going to use pH strips for this again. Just dip the pH strip into the emulsion. As we can see, it's a little bit on the lower side, so we're going to add some baking soda solution to higher the pH. And if you want to lower the pH, you have to add citric acid. I already have pre-blends here. So this is 90% of demineralized water and 10% of baking soda. And this one I have the same, but then with citric acid. So to higher the pH, I'm just going to add a few drops of the baking soda solution to the body lotion. Just give it a shake and then add a few drops of the baking soda. When you make a recipe, you always have to check the pH, because different ingredients have a different kind of pH. So we're going to measure it again. We are almost at 5. At this point, I'm going to add the Preservative Eco, because I know it's going to lower it a little bit more. So we will add the mix of the papaya glyceride, panthenol and Preservative Eco now. Mix it up again. It already starts to thicken a little bit, as you can see. But we're going to measure the pH again and see if we need to further adjust it. This is perfect, almost at 5.5. So now we're going to add the coconut CO2 extract. A CO2 extract is almost the same as an essential oil, but then it's not extracted with steam, but with CO2. This also has fat-soluble compounds and has a really strong coconutty flavor. Oh, so good. We're going to add 2% in our recipe. Normally I would add 1% for facial emulsions, but since this is for our body, we can use 2%. Because we're adding this now, we're going to have the scent of the coconut really coming through. If we were to put the Preservative Eco in there now, we would definitely have that scent in there. Give it a stir again. It smells so tropical, it's unbelievable. Keep whisking until your emulsion becomes thicker. Okay, so as you can see, it has turned into a lovely velvety lotion. We are going to add this to a 100 milliliter bottle with a dispenser on there for lotion. And there you go, your homemade tropical body lotion. Perfect for summertime. Look at this, it's so hydrating and lightweight, and it smells like summer. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see our next recipes, please subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!